Ghana's installed generation capacity significantly increased from 3,656 megawatts in 2015 to 5,172 megawatts in 2020. Dependable generation capacity also increased from 3,359 megawatts to 4,695 megawatts within the same period. The government also indicated in the same year that it had reduced the country's energy sector debt by about 45% from an initial $2.7 billion to about $1.7 billion. Despite these accomplishments in the sector, several challenges still prevail. Ghana's energy sector debt could hit $12.5 billion by 2023 if distribution losses and failure on the part of the Electricity Company of Ghana to collect tariffs worsens. Yet, the issue of regular power supply persists in some parts of the country, with a number of residents raising concerns about how erratic it has been in recent times. Many wonder if the days of load shedding, popularly known as doomsday, was returning. To crown their suspicion was a challenge in the Ghana Grid Company's grid co-power system that led to a total system shutdown and total power outage nationwide. Ahead of Friday's budget presentation, the Africa Center for Energy Policy has been sharing its expectations for the sector.
We have seen time and again in the budget and as presentation by the Minister for Finance that they were going to come up with an alternative to the PDS agreement that got botched, but it never happened. Okay, so what is this budget going to say to ensure that we can distribute electricity efficiently for people to pay for the power they consume? We need that now. It is much more critical today than ever for us to have a clear direction on what we want to do with the distribution of electricity. Because if we can't collect revenue, you can't price your electricity and sell. It affects everybody in the value chain.
The global economy took a major hit amid the COVID-19 pandemic, causing Brent crude oil to fall $22.58 a barrel in March 2020, its lowest level since November 2002. But the news of a COVID-19 vaccine, which many countries like Ghana have begun mass vaccinations, coupled with the easing of several restrictions globally, economic activities are being revamped. This has led to an increase in global oil prices, which currently stands at about $69 per barrel. The increase of oil prices on the global market reflected locally, with petrol currently selling around 5.45 Ghana cedis per litre, an increase from the about 4.8 Ghana cedis per litre late last year. Last year, Parliament passed the Petroleum Hub Development Corporation Bill 2020. The bill, once assented to by the President, will establish the Petroleum Hub Development Corporation to promote and develop a petroleum and petrochemical hub in Ghana's western region at an estimated cost of $60 billion. Many, including the Institute of Energy Security, questioned the rationale behind the move by the government. They questioned why the government had not made enough effort to retool the Tema Oil Refinery, the country's only refinery, which required a far less amount. But the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, COPEC, believes key policies have to be put in place to mitigate the impact of the frequent increase in fuel prices.
Some way, somehow, it will be shocking if any attempt is made at this current state where COVID is really not gone. The devastating impact is still being felt across homes and businesses. We are not expecting any increase in taxes. Again, we had raised the issue last week that the stabilization and recovery levy, one of the taxes whose use currently we cannot even put a finger to, continues to drag against Ghanaian trotro drivers, against Ghanaian consumers. And so we'll be happy to hear something about either the removal or a drop in the stabilization and recovery monies that is being collected from us.
Ghana is set to open Sub-Saharan Africa's first liquefied natural gas to power project as it moves to position itself as a hub for cleaner and cheaper fuel in the region. The project paved the way for the supply of 1.7 million tons of natural gas per year for power generation sometime this quarter. The Africa Center for Energy Policy says with this development, Ghana must cease to import LNG.
On the emerging LNG concerns, we expect that the priority for government must be the optimization of our domestic gas resources and the suspension of LNG importation plans. This we are convinced will reduce the take or pay commitments, reduce pressure on the budget, and provide incentives for investments in domestic gas resources.